Alrighty, guys. All right, we are back. Actually, Beto's studio.
We're back in Beto's. Mine is not doing so well right now. We're trying.
We're trying. Yeah,
we're getting there.
We're throwing some heavy band-aids on the podcast studio right now.
Yeah, and thank you to a friend of the channel and also a friend in real life, Dan. He kind of put together upon himself. Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah, we were working on a thing for about 8 hours.
Yep.
Like just
he was working on it. We started before that.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like he had the knowledge. Let's be real.
We were just doing. We were like the little Pikmin guys, and he was the Olimar. Olimar, is that their name?
Yeah,
guiding us little gremlins on what to do, and we just did what we were told, like ants.
Pretty much.
So you guys raised the whole roof, blew the roof off, new roof,
blew the roof off.
2x6s instead of 2x4s. Higher. It's like probably a few feet higher, so might be able to have better lighting and like more optimal design. So pretty sick if you ask me.
Yeah. Nice. And we got Ben filling in for Riggy, but Ben's usually obviously our sound engineer, but now we have Beto who offered that when he heard about the news. And so just want to say thank you again, Beto. You literally started us off the ground, so you just want to say thank you a big ton
100%.
to that. And the first topic I wanted to get into, like a lot of people don't understand, is usually how estate sales, swap meets, and storage units, and also just abandoned houses and liquidations. Like, they don't understand how it really works. And there's always like a little bit of a moral thing, like people guilt trip us and things like that. Kind of wanted to explain like how they work. Like, so if you want to start on just storage units?
Yeah, I'll say the comments we hear the most and people get upset about is when I hear, well, at least when I look the most, is abandoned units, abandoned homes and storage units. And it's normally people saying, which I get, I totally understand, is someone died and you're just digging through that, right? So it almost puts you in this weird place of like, yes, either they did die or they couldn't afford their storage unit, but it has to go somewhere.
Somebody's going to get it.
It's going to go to the government. It's going to get. I literally used to work in a nuclear plant, and when they decommissioned the nuclear plant, my boss literally came up to me in a government building and was like, "Steal everything. This is all getting demolished. Take everything from this place."
Deal.
Yeah, deal. Oh yeah, I had a good offer up that month.
Yeah, so we get a lot of comments, and they're saying like that we lack like empathy and things like that, but they don't really understand that like when we get these units, we understand the situation, and we can't always just on camera be able to display that, right? It's like, I'm not going to give you the personal information of either the person died, if they got sick, or their financial situations. That kind of just feels even more awkward for me.
Realistically, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to like have a moment of silence for the person or something? I mean, should you guys start doing that or something?
I think that's more like
I think that's disingenuous. Seance?
Well, the thing is, and here's with storage units, we don't know. They don't tell us. They're not like,
you don't know.
Bill Joe's at 79th Street and he couldn't afford it. Poor guy. They won't do that. Now, I will say with liquidations or abandoned homes, I saw Daniel, one of our buddies who runs a liquidation company, getting all this flack like, you guys, I can't believe you're taking their stuff. I can't believe this. He is hired by the families. The families going, we don't want this.
It's
stuff.
all legal too.
They literally pay him legally to take everything that out of that house and get rid of it, because if he doesn't, the family's going to have to start owing the government money to pay for a home that's filled with stuff with someone who's not paying for a mortgage anymore.
Yeah, they're not at all resellers. They don't know what to do with it.
They don't want it.
They would just throw it out if they absolutely had to anyway.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, some of these houses are absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Like just trash on top of trash, rat poop, like animal pee, and just trash in every direction. And yes, we're only showing so much of it, obviously out of respect for families and things like that.
We don't show like family photos
of course
and
not.
Like, dig through the personals, any of that stuff. If possible, yes, we'd love for the family to take, but it's not on us.
So we have a lot of like viewers that actually. Oh, you want to talk? Come back, Chris. Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I do think about it when I am going to estate sales. Like, I'm aware that I'm like, this is most likely somebody that's passed away. But we don't ever know. You don't know. Somebody could just be, maybe they went to a convalescent home. Usually a lot of times it's somebody older. Or maybe they passed. Maybe they moved. Maybe
or they're
they just
moving,
want to get rid of their stuff. So you're not ever told by the estate sale. All you know that, like you said, is that the family normally is in charge with the estate sale, and they have to do something with this stuff. And I would say 9 out of 10 times it's just going to end up in the trash if you don't buy it. And the stuff that doesn't get bought at the estate sales does end up in the trash too, because if you come back on Sunday, they'll have it all out by the trash.
Yep.
So
I think if anything too, I think it's almost in a weird way, almost like a celebratory way of them, as long as it's not like, disgusting, bad, illegal things. But it's like, some of the homes we look through, like, oh my gosh, this guy was a PC collector. Whoa, that's awesome.
There's a different appreciation.
Whoa, he collected old sports stuff. Oh my gosh, look, he was a Kings season ticket holder. He must have been super big into the Kings. Obviously, if we're not like, poking fun or making fun of someone, which we've never done, of like what they have, it almost, in my opinion, is like a way of almost like, kind of like relifting, their spirit, so to say, not like their actual spirit, but, just like talking
or just
a little
appreciating another hobbyist and a collector that actually used to do it. Like you can tell that you see a little bit of yourself in that, right? Because of just like what it conveys to you.
I feel always kind of when I'm going to these estate sales, because you are looking at, in a lot of ways, at like a glimpse of a whole person's life sometimes. Like this is what they collected. Like sometimes I'm walking through the house and I'll see, like I've seen maps of like where people traveled all around the world, and like there's all sorts of cool stuff of these people's lives. And so there is a little bit of a sadness that I do feel.
Totally.
But I also, what I've learned, or how I feel too, is like, all these material things that we collect and buy throughout the years, you realize like when you pass and when I pass, all that stuff is just goes away.
Can't take it with
That's
you.
it. You're not taking any of this stuff with you. Now it's fun and we all love to collect, and it's not like I'm going to stop collecting because I can't take it with me.
Like,
You
here's
just
the
build-
moral. I don't have it.
Chris is like, I'm bringing a Tut, King Tut, whatever it is, and just bury all your collectibles with you.
Right, King Tut did take it with him.
It's Sunset Riders. First boss, when you kill him, he literally goes, bury me with my money. I mean, it's funny. It is a weird, it is a weird thing as collectors when you think about that, because we all know, right? We're all smart enough to know morally, again, like you said, like it all really in the end means nothing, right? You talk to anyone on their deathbed, no one's ever going to be like, I wish I collected more and had more physical items. No one will ever say that. It's they wish they had more memories with their family or spent time with their loved ones. But it's so weird because it does make you think sometimes and look into yourself like, shoot, like, am I caring too much about owning things or having things or buying things or money or whatever it be? I don't know. Myself, I guess recently I've been thinking about it more again, quitting my full-time job. I've been in that position to where like I've literally sat down with my wife and I'm like, how much do we need? Like, what is our need number versus like us just having abundantly, right? Like, what is our need that's like
Bare minimum.
good enough? We're happy. Bills are taken care of. I don't need this big abundant life. Like, and we worked all that out. So I've just been thinking about a lot of that stuff lately. So kind of an interesting thought.
I wonder if some of the times the reasons why I go to estate sales, flea markets, all that is because I do have like an addiction to buying. Like I love the thrill of buying things. I don't really go to malls and shop
Well, you guys are
around
all
a lot.
Indiana Jones treasure hunters.
Yeah, there's an element of treasure hunting.
There's the
to it,
excitement of the
course.
hunt.
But
Yeah.
there is like, I do love buying things. I've slowed down a bit on like buying on eBay because I was doing that for a lot of
I guess I think you think that maybe curating buying is what you slow down on.
curating buying, but it is like a buying and reselling. I do love collecting stuff too, but like the thrill of buying stuff.
It's so much better than
awesome.
owning, in my opinion.
Yes.
In my opinion, I've said it before, so I won't go over it again, but just that thrill of buying and finding it, like you said, treasure hunting it, is so much. I mean, I could almost get the item and be like, I did it, and cry and freak out and be like, anybody want this? Because I need to find the next thing.
Yeah, it lasts for about all of a day.
Yeah.
Well,
After
the
a
other thing
day,
is
I'm
like
like, all
you
right, I'm good
guys
with it.
are set up as resellers to resell it.
Yeah.
So if you get bored of it after a day, like you just said, we'll just turn around and sell it.
Well, I was just going through like my closet. My wife was like, you have no room left in your closet. I was like, oh, I'll send that out real quick. Like, I'll just go through and just like, okay, sell.
Yeah.
sell,
Did you
like,
throw
get
the
rid of it.
stadium events out that was in the closet?
No, that one's still in the closet. That one will be there.
It's in the closet.
Yeah.
Just sitting in there.
It's
Giving
just
away
sitting there. It's
location to
hilarious.
people, that is crazy.
Curtis,
Hey, I don't mind exposing it. I wanted
Curtis
to put it.
funny
here's
enough.
the GPS of the stadium event.
Funny enough, Curtis is in the closet.
No, chill. Whoa.
Dang, he's still in
Anyway,
there.
all right. To rear back into like the topic, like how is someone? Because I know how the process works. I would like for maybe Chris, because he goes to estate sales. How do you find an estate sale, and like what is the process of getting in line and things like that?
So here we're pretty we're lucky that in Southern California, I feel like it's like the mecca of estate sales. I feel like. So we use estatesales.net. It geolocates all of the probably 100+ estate sales that go on every week. They usually start on Thursday, Friday. It's really just those 2 days, actually. I mean, they run Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll look, like already this week, Blake and I were looking at one that's coming up Friday that has a bunch of figures and stuff. And we're starting to plan to get on the list and get there early at probably 6, 7 in the morning. Sometimes we've stayed overnight in our cars.
I mean, one time for me.
Yeah.
After I realized how uncomfortable I was over it.
Yeah.
I was like, Blake will do it though, for sure.
You know, like coming from Connecticut, I've looked at like estatesales.net in Connecticut, and there's like nothing. There's like no estate sales.
Really?
Yeah, very few. So
Is it just on a different website, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know that they
resource?
just do them as much as they do them out here.
One of my favorite things was because the extent that most people do go, it's pretty competitive out here for estate sales. But I think it was funny. I roll up early in the morning and I go to Chris's car. He is fully laid out in the back, just sleeping. And then I'm like, Chris, get up, and he just lifts his leg, rips one. He's like, all right.
Yeah, you let out one, let the air out.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when like I've left at like 11:30 at night. Tell my wife, all right, I'm leaving. She's like, where are you going? I'm going to park on the street and
Sleep with Blake.
sleep in my car. Yeah, pretty much.
Be a homeless person for the night.
in the back of my Jeep. For an
Estate sales
estate
for me,
sale.
I've never had the desire to do them. I don't know why. I think because I know there's a level
aggressive.
of cutthroat in it.
Yeah.
And that is not for me.
I've thought about that. I'm like, why you don't do that?
Yeah.
But you do, you know, like when we're at the last week at the flea market, like you saw me up in the back of the truck,
Yep.
digging through stuff.
Yep.
Do you not like that? Do you like doing that? I don't know if I've ever seen you in the back of the
if
truck.
it's like, I'm a very overly people pleaser. So like if I know you guys were in there first, but I know in the back of my head I could start squeezing my way in, I just won't.
Okay.
I'll go up. I went up. I went up there, felt the area. George was in there. His, I think son's in there. You're in there. Blake's another guy. Kind of started to squeeze in, and I was like, nope. Like my level of like,
I get claustrophobic.
how do I say it? Blake was definitely in a place where I was like, I don't want to be in that
I get
place.
claustrophobic doing
You
that.
bailed on us. You were supposed to be our third on that deal.
Curtis
and
the
then
third.
Curtis the third. We lost you because you said
100%.
you didn't want to deal with it either.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
because ended up happening. You know exactly what happens. People get into the back of the truck and they just start ripping through things, throwing it. It's just like, for me, I feel so not. It's just not my
So
personality.
I will say this. Maybe I won't even say whose name. It's one of the people in the truck. So for the layout out for people is, there's a big deal going on in the back of the truck. Everyone's grabbing stuff. The owner of the booth knows that. But I did see the owner watch someone in that booth, and I saw him literally like physically getting heated, seeing him just like dump stuff. Like, oop, I want this. Dump the rest. Trash.
Was it
trash.
me?
Nope.
No.
Not me.
Wasn't you.
Because I like being on the front lines,
Yes.
whether I'm at an estate sale or even when we're flea market hunting. Like I like being up in the truck, ripping
do
through
I.
the boxes. There
Your
is
first
also
dibs, then.
Yeah, there is also when you're estate selling or doing that, there is a respect factor. So like I'm up in that truck with George, who is another guy that hunts at the
Big
flea
buyer.
market with us, big buyer, right? And him and I are in the front lines, right? He's on one side, I'm on the other side. There's a box in between us, right? He reaches, grabs the box. He grabs it. It rips open. The games all spill out. Now, you would think I could just start grabbing games. I mean, I see all these games, but he had his hand on that box first. It ripped open. I respectfully let him grab all the games out of that box. If I didn't, it would get very not. It would get confrontational.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I knew other people in that truck that do that kind of stuff, and I just like don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's why I backed out. Not because I saw someone in there, again, won't name names, and I could feel it, and it was like already cutthroat, and he was angry and like saying things, and I was like,
It's just not my scene.
Yeah.
Well, here's another example. So, like, we go to Long Beach Flea, right? There's Sarah who they come with a truck.
Oh, yeah.
And they're a big time seller at Long Beach. They take the items out. They're saran wrapped. You know this scenario. They cut them, and it is a madhouse.
Mad dash.
Mad dash.
And even then, I
is
hate it.
Crazy. And so I was there. Camel Crew was there the other day, and there was a bag that was handed to me, like a paper bag, like a shopping bag, right? And there was VHS in it. I set it down on the ground in front of me. All of a sudden, I get knocked over, and this hand comes in and just rips the bag open.
No way.
And it was some girl who I'd never seen, and I was literally like, "What are you doing?"
She's probably a newbie. She doesn't know the etiquette.
Yeah, and it was not an etiquette thing.
Was it an
There's
old
not a
Asian
lot
woman?
of.
No, it was like a younger white girl that
We
just
had
Did you tackle her?
No, but I said something to her. I was like,
She's
"What are
swimming
you
with the
doing?"
fishies.
Like, I was like, "What are you doing?" Like,
I think-
uncalled, you're like out of
Call her out.
line, and she was doing it all over the place.
Yeah, I
and
think
people were,
the
like,
lack
really
of
annoyed
etiquette
by
is
it.
also what kind of turns me away. It's like, it's just like, I don't even want to be a part of it because I know it doesn't deserve my reaction.
I asked if it was an old Asian lady as seriousness because in an old video of Retro Liberty, our old channel, you see me hold a controller and on camera I'm holding it, and an old lady just goes, yep, rips it out of my hand, and
Rips
walks
it
away.
out.
Yep, and I was like,
And walks
Wow.
away. That's actually crazy. Another thing is that we have actually people from other countries ask about how storage units work, and there's one site. I mean, it's called Storage Treasures. You go on, and the way it works is the reason why these are posted is because the lien, they didn't pay for their auction. There's a private sale either through
Man,
somebody.
you guys are giving all your resources away, guys.
No, well, that's the whole point of
It's
this.
okay.
This is the whole point of it, right?
Okay.
It's just to kind of teach people a little bit of
Rules.
how it works. I mean, anybody could do it. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's-
Yeah,
realistically,
but they don't know the websites. I don't know the websites.
I mean, literally,
right
All right,
now.
well, educate.
I'll tell you right now. All you have to do is type in storage auctions near
it'll be
me.
the first
That's
one.
true.
hundreds and hundreds
just
and
never
hundreds.
did
Of, there's
that.
plenty
There's-
of enough for everybody.
I want to say
get
there's
some.
literally 1,500 up for sale a week in California alone.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you think about that, and then also it's already competitive. Anyone in the world can bid on an auction, right? And well, not in the world, but anybody in the United States really, right, can bid on it. And there's fees associated with it. It's a binding contract once you do win an auction.
So speaking of storage units, how was yours this last?
Oh, dude, no. All right,
Sorry,
so
no, I'm just messing with you,
that's
man.
also what happens. Obviously, it's all a gamble, right? You run the risk. We ran the risk of paying $6,000,
$8,000 off the
Well,
door,
$8,000 in total, but $6,000 on the initial bid.
Sure.
And then obviously going through the cleaning and all that, but everything could have been empty on that, right? It's all a gamble. Same thing happened recently where I just saw boxes and I was like, let me bid what I feel comfortable with because maybe there might be something salvageable.
How much was it?
It was about $320, but $400 in total with the fees.
Yep.
So go over there. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just start, getting into it. Didn't realize that it was a 5x5 stacked to 15 feet up into that locker.
Whoa.
And it was just trash. Every little piece was used items, documents, and the only thing that I was able to salvage is pull out all the photos, family photos, give it to the storage facility.
Yeah.
And then pretty much throw everything else away because that's all just dirty kitchenette items and things that I can't do anything with.
Was that gold chain?
And you do donate. So I don't just throw everything away. It's all right, what's salvageable for
Yeah,
Salvation
what's
Army?
somewhat usable, give it to
Yeah,
Goodwill
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, so that also helps my load, right? So it's I'll donate half of that to a organization that can repurpose it, right? I don't want to deal with it as trash. But yeah, it does suck to lose, but then you just move on to the next gamble.
Right. Sorry,
Right.
I just knew that you had that.
He just
it
wanted to
was-
rub it in.
Yeah. I mean,
I saw
look,
Ben asking. He's like,
bro, you can't win every single one. But
Right, right.
a lot of people don't understand is that with a storage unit, it's your
a
your gamble, and
So was
also,
that gold necklace? Was it real?
It was fake. Yeah, it was
Oh,
fake.
it was fake?
Yeah, if it was real, it was about $2,000-3,000.
It looked cool. I was wearing it all day on Sunday.
But that was the only thing I actually found out of that whole thing. But it's all learning, right? It's
it's
like
all fun though too.
yeah.
That's why I haven't gotten into that business too much because of that. All the work that you have to do with the stuff that are the misses. And then when we had Dusty on here, that was one of the questions I asked him is what do you do with all the junk?
Yeah.
Because they're constantly doing dump runs. So much of that is just garbage.
We also asked Dusty if Storage Wars is real, and he said, "Oh, come on, man."
Allegedly. We gotta say it for him.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Funny story, this past weekend when we were hunting, Blake went to buy some VHS from Dusty, and apparently when he was there buying the VHS from him, the guy whose unit it was that Dusty had bought was there trying to rebuy some of his VHS
Oh, man.
that was in there. And I was like, oh man, that must have been really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So in other words, Dusty bought the unit. The guy found out Dusty bought it somehow.
Whoa.
However, although I would think that it's anonymous who buys the
Yeah,
unit.
it is.
But
No-
somehow he knew.
Technically, they're not allowed to disclose who the buyer is, obviously because of confidentiality. But obviously, you learn about the person that's in it. Maybe Dusty might have contacted that person. You never know
People
about
can
that.
find out because even Dennis last weekend was telling me he bought Mark Johnson's locker, which was a pro skateboarder. Because I was like, oh my gosh, all this Mark Johnson gear. He's like, yeah, it was his locker. And he was like, yeah, he tried to get it back from me. And I said, no.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, all
So
right.
somehow they find that out. I don't know. You would think the storage companies wouldn't, like storage treasures wouldn't release that info.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. I mean,
probably
in general.
This guy knew
Ways.
about. I have a hair in my mouth.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like, there's.
Hanging out with Ricky before?
Oh my god.
I mean, there are ways for people to find out word of mouth on like
Yeah.
who would have won it, right? I mean, like I got texted just bidding on one, and I was like not even really in the race for it, and I got texted.
The owner texted
No, Dusty. He's like, I know you're bidding on this unit.
you? How did he know? Did he just guess?
He doesn't know. He just
Combinations,
guessed.
dude.
Really?
Yeah.
So somehow
Yeah.
this guy knew, and he was there, to recover his stuff at the flea market,
Interesting.
which must be weird.
Another thing
Why
that
don't
gotta
you
be
just
weird.
pay his storage unit?
Can't afford it at the time.
I'm assuming people can't pay.
But the
They
time
or they
Gosh,
from
Ben,
when
not everyone's
he-
a rich white man.
So okay, so
The time
They-
frame from when he stopped paying to versus when it shows up at the swap, it could only be a month.
Who knows,
sometimes
Ben?
no. So you only get a limited amount of time to clear out the locker unless you rent out the locker.
I would say all
like it
sorts of
transferred
different
to your name.
circumstances probably
Okay.
lead to why people don't pay for those units.
Yeah,
Yeah, can't
but
pay, couldn't get to the unit in time.
country,
Maybe they
who
have
knows?
health reasons they couldn't get there.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff.
yeah, it's always a
Death.
toss up. But they have all the way up until the person who won the locker pays. Like so, if I pay won it in Arizona, they have all the way up until I get there and pay with actual cash.
Gotcha.
If they don't, if they paid before their locker, or whatever it is, I don't get it. I waste the flight. It's over.
All right. So moral question.
Yeah.
You buy a unit and the guy approaches you afterwards and goes, "My lifelong treasures are in that unit," and he's in tears. What do you do?
2 words.
Two
Get
words.
Wax.
I would say
Depends on what
that
it is, probably, right?
there has been scenarios that I've watched actually on YouTube where the owner does show up at the unit, right? And I would say that, hey, if you just pay me for what I paid for the
That's
unit,
what I was gonna say.
plus the labor that
Your
it
time and all-
took
yep.
to get there and get a truck and all that, and then if you could afford that, then yeah, that was
That's
good.
what I would
back.
say too. Like as long
Yeah.
as you give me my money back, plus I spent 7 hours cleaning this place, fees, all that. As long as I'm all in, even my gas money driving back home, because basically I'm not working for you for free.
No.
Right. As long as nobody pays my bills anymore but me. So
would you have done that with the unit? There was a great
Yeah,
score with the
but
signs.
I think if
and all
they
that?
would have,
Would you have done it?
I
You
would have
would've?
loved
What
if that
signs?
lady. I think
Did somebody say signs?
is there signs in that unit?
yeah, PlayStation 2. I'm just kidding. I think also like what people don't understand is that a lot of the flea markets that we have do deal in this storage units only.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they question what the morality is on that with us when we have it on camera? Like
we're
where
on
we
camera.
source. Yeah, but where we source, like they're not be like, well, you're at a flea market. That's a dead person's.
Yeah.
Why don't they bring that up in the comment section?
Because I've learned this my whole life, Curtis. The only answer is because it's the internet. There is no. It's the Wild West. There's every question. There's good, bad, and the ugly. So.